everyone, this is Bernie from STAMPI'N'UP and welcome back to my craft room today. It's very exciting to have you here. Today I'm going to be doing a very fun project with you, which is very suitable if you are a brand new stamper, brand new card maker, or if you are not a brand new card maker but you need to whip up a whole batch of cards in a short space of time. We are going to create 5 cards in a matter of a few minutes. So I'm going to show you how to cut up your paper. I'm going to put one together, and then I'm going to show you the 5 samples that I created with the same designer series paper, but just in preparation for this video. So you're going to need a card base. I have cut mine a little differently, and before I actually carry on, I do just want to give credit to Alicia Tilsniff for the inspiration for this. So her measurements were 4 by 10 inches, scored at 5 inches on the long side. You're also going to need, I have added a mat just so that I've got a frame for my designer series paper, but you don't have to do that. You'll see with the first lot I didn't, but if you do want to use a frame, I've gone with black and I've actually cut it 1/4 of an inch shorter, so that is 3 3/4 of an inch by 5 3/4 of an inch. And then you're going to need 5 pieces of designer series paper with compact patterns. So you're not looking for patterns like this one that are loose. You do want a busier pattern. You want 5 pieces, identical size, 3.5 by 4.5. So let's get cutting. It took a bit of brain maths for me the first time, so hopefully, well, it's not that hard. Let me just say, it's not hard. You just have to keep your wits about you. So turn your designer series paper to the landscape orientation and horizontal, and we're going to do the first cut at 3 inches. Okay. All right, so just set those pieces to the side because we have to repeat that with the remaining. So we're cutting that off at the 3. So we've got our long pieces here now. So the piece that is 3, this piece over here, you are going to cut that now into, so we're going, so if that is 3.5, so the first strip is 1.5, so that's your bigger block, so that'll be your top, and then these two, you're just turning them around, so we're going to chop that at 1.5, so you're just cutting it in half, so 2 lots of 1.5, okay. And you're going to put them, oops, off the camera, sorry, you're going to put them over here. So let me repeat that again with the next large one because it can be a bit confusing. So your 3.5 piece, we are now going to cut that at 1.5, okay. Set that side to the piece. We've got this one left, turn it around, and you're going to go, because it's now 3, we're going to cut it at 1.5 and 1.5. So you should have 2 pieces. Let's repeat that one more time. We've got 3.5 on the long side. You're now going to cut that at 1.5. Turn this piece around and cut it at 1.5. Lots of 1.5s involved here. The last couple, and then we'll get to the short pieces. Okay, now we have those strips. There should be 5 strips left over from what you cut off from the other bit that was left. They are measuring 1.5 and they should be 3.5 long, which they are. So for this one, you're going to cut off just 1 inch off all of them and you'll be left with 2.5. Okay, so we're going just 1 inch. The first time it's a little bit, you just got to keep your bearings, but then once you get it, you get it. Now we've got all our pieces and I can set my paper trimmer to the side. Okay, so you should have some long pieces. you should have a whole batch of 10 for the front there. You should have little pieces. They're going to come over here and over there. Alrighty. So let me show you how we set this up. If I bring in my mat, you're taking one long piece. You're looking for a pattern that you don't yet have, and it may just mean you have to just sort through them until you get to a pattern you don't yet have. You're butting them all up together. They all need to come together. You're looking for a pattern here that you don't yet have, so that one's going to come in there. And now the last one we need to look for is a pattern here that we don't have, and it'll be the pink. So it will come together like that. Pretty. All right. And you just keep repeating that. You take one from that pile, you look for a pattern that you don't have there, you repeat it, or you look for a different pattern there because you'll have enough. You look for a different pattern there, you look for a different pattern there. So if I just set these all to the side for now, I've got 5 more cards to make from this. I want to assemble this and then put this onto my base and then stamp. Because I'm creating a little bit, because I'm creating a little bit of a mat, I just want to make sure that my spaces are equal. And I'm going to do the bottom one first. And if it's not 100%, that's also okay. So I'm going to come in there, make sure they're all butting up nice and snug. Doing the same over here, so I can see I've actually created a bigger, and it's a bit late. I might just trim that down with my paper trimmer. Just trim that down a little bit. Turn that over. If you're wondering what paper I've been using for this, it's the Country Woods, the Country Lace, and Unbounded Beauty are the 5 different papers I've combined. There we go. So because I've got a wider border there, I just want to bring it down ever so slightly so that it doesn't look a bit odd. Hopefully now I'm not cutting too much. And a little bit on that side. I don't want a massive border, I just want a teeny tiny border around it so that it just creates a little bit of interest. Now oops, no, I'm going to ruin it. I could feel that's going to go. Okay, let's put this onto my card base. If you want to do a mat, it's probably trickier to do a mat, but it's not impossible. Just make sure that you line it up equally, which I didn't exactly do the best job at doing, but anyway. Okay, so there we have that. Now I want to quickly show you there's different ways we can work with this. I want to make birthday cards. I have a stash of birthday cards I need to get done, so I'm actually pleased that I can do this design. I'm going to use the Happy Birthday from Unbounded Love, and I thought that using Pebbled Path is a good choice, seeing as it's a nice neutral. It's not black, it's just a really nice neutral color. If you follow me long enough, you know I love this color. So Pebbled Path, here we go. Stamp that, and I'm going to use the brand new Unbounded Beauty dies. Let's use lots of squares on this project. So let's die cut that one out. Now, when I cut out white, I don't always do it, but I have done it for these projects, is I use exclusive cutting mats just for my white cardstock. That's actually a tip that I learnt from my team leader Jackie, and it's a brilliant tip, so I like to use that. I don't always remember to do it, so if you do have a separate set of cutting mats, I would suggest you do it because it doesn't damage the white cardstock. So let's set that to the side. Love these frames and the Unbounded Beauty. They are very versatile. I want to add some ribbon behind this. The beauty of this kind of card, I just want to check the orientation, is that you can turn it horizontal or vertical. and I might just do it that orientation today. So I'm going to place some Stampin' Seal behind my die, and I'm going to pop some brand new petal pink ribbon, and with my ribbon scissors I'm just going to trim that off. And now I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals. So let me just grab those. There we are. Pop that in the middle. Now, if you want to, you can add some bling into that and bring in the brand new dots, which I might just do, because even though that looks like it's petal pink, the peach pie actually picks up really well, so I might just add a few of those, and it's bringing in the petal pink ribbon. And let's add another one there. Fantastic. So we have, in the space of a few minutes, whipped up 5 cards. Like I say, if you're going to put a mat around it, just don't do what I did, and just make sure it gets around equally, because now I've got a slightly wider border. But I want to show you the rest of the designs using this concept. So here I had one on Early Espresso using exactly the same papers. This one I've also done on Early Espresso, different frame, similar concept but only on basic white. And then again, also using the Unbounded Beauty, using the same papers on basic white. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I feel like I'm missing one. There it is, the original one that I had over here. So there's my 5th one over there, where I used the same frame, a different frame rather. So here we've got 5 different cards, all using the same paper, plus the one I've just created now for you using a mat. So do you like it with the mat, or do you like it without a mat? I quite like it with the mat, but that's all personal preference. You could also add all of that onto a mat and then put it through an embossing folder and get a whole different look. You could just emboss 1 or 2 of the panels and get a whole different look. So there's so many different versatile options to do there. So that's me for today. Thank you so much for crafting with me. Remember to like the video if it's something that appeals to you. Please share it with your crafty friends. It's always good to share ideas. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, click the bell so that you can be reminded of when I come on live on a Tuesday and when I bring you these scheduled posts on a Thursday. And if you want to, you're welcome to join my newsletter as well. So that's me. Hope to see you all again back in my craft room next week. But remember, until we meet again, to stamp, to eat, to sleep, and repeat. Bye!